We are live. Welcome. Yeah, crazy. I don't believe it's Wednesday already. Ramadan Kareem to our Muslim brothers and sisters. And thank you for joining us here today, everybody. Today we have Ryan is a Madriana, but a little bit late. We have Kyle as Eldrin a little bit early for himself lately. Rory is Eos, Busy as Hatsu, and John as Weslyn. Kean might be lurking in chat. I don't know. Let's see. We'll fire him if he isn't. That's how we roll. Who's doing the recap today? I forgot.
Kean in the chat.
Okay, Kean in the chat will type the recap. We will sit here awkwardly for 5 minutes.
If he doesn't, he's fired. But in the meantime, I will actually recap the recap.
Oh, he's in chat.
So
there he is.
He needs that job. Previously on the Wandering Isles, the party was in Anbudon. Hatsu had admitted to Weslyn that he might be a monster beneath the mask. Taken as out of context, he felt like a monster under the mask. Dash revealed to be holding on to Weslyn's money for his own good. An old man appeared, returned Weslyn's coin. He also attempted to join the group. Partially successful. He introduced himself also as Dash. 2 dashes. Chaos, of course, ensued. Beneath the tavern, Madriana struck a deal with Lucian Vale, and promised 100 tons of supplies for the Pearl and the people of Sagnatoshi. The price: steal a 1,300-year-old gem-crafted egg from a museum vault nearby. A relic that was stolen from the Greenward Rebellion. Tensions flared when Hatsu's real name was spoken aloud after giving a secret code name. The city was destroyed. His father was killed. Mistakes get people hunted. These were feelings that Hatsu had felt, hence the frustrations. Apologies were made, lines were drawn, everyone agreed to take up the opportunity of the heist. Everyone except Weslyn, who did make it aware to the party that stealing is forbidden. He will attempt to assist in any way he can, but he will not steal. The morning came, the party begins their plans for today's heist and today's session. Welcome.
Nice. To the Wandering Isles. So the morning rolls in. A new dawn, a new day, a new life for Dash, who sneaks out early in the morning to try and take care of some things. I'm not sure who will arise first, but I know it's not a Madrina, because that would be really awkward considering Ryan isn't here yet. So what do you guys want to do first?
Go to the museum.
Fair request.
Hmm?
Do you want to do that in the sense of downtime, planning, crime kind of thing? Or do you want to do that in the sense of Weslyn's just going to rock on up in his little sailor outfit?
Yeah, it's a little sailor outfit. I mean, it's more like a, Oliver Twist Newsboys look, but we can retcon that to a sailor. There was a big thing in Victoria and London who really took off with that whole sailor uniform for their young kids. But no, he's got more of the Newsboys look. But yeah, no, to go look at it, it's not there to steal anything or scope anything out. Although if he sees something of note, he might say something about it later. But yeah,
irony of someone of your class disposition going to somewhere as a patron seems quite funny to me. But yes, you want to go and spend your Dash money or spend your reacquired Weslyn money. I'm not sure. Going into a museum, correct?
Well, it was Weslyn's, but Dash said he needed it, but then Dash didn't really actually need it.
Right.
So Weslyn has it back.
Cool. Okay. So Yep. Okay. Well, the museum is available. It's very, very early in the morning. So you might have a little bit of time to kill first, but it will open around sort of the midday mark. And be open for all to come and see.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else doing anything in the meantime?
Just a quick query. How long is the short rest for us again?
How long is a short rest? 8 hours. So you just had one, if you want to mark one off. Yeah.
Yes, because I need to get some back, some spell slots with my hit die.
Mm-hmm.
Please and thank you.
Short rest.
Okay. So I'll take a second level and 2 first levels.
Cool. Yeah, perfect. Oh yeah, I should share the chat so that people know what you're talking about. So we have a homebrew rule in our campaign because we use gritty realism for downtime. That just means that you we let you use your hit die for that you could also roll for HP. We let you also roll that for spell slots. So in this case, you rolled a 3, so you can take. In this case, what was it? 1 first level and 2 second level. Was that it?
1 second level and 1 first level.
Okay. And you added a 3rd spell slot to yourself on a 3rd level, so you can remove that again.
I fixed that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then you also will wake up. We're in trance.
Yeah, no worries. It's a nice day in Anbudon. Little cloudy. 7 degrees, if you must know.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of is different about this place to where some of you may be familiar with is the smell of food. This is a hard-working, labor-intensive town, but the first thing they do is eat. So you can smell the roasts, the fries. You can smell an overwhelming scent of garlic because it's the only thing that can possibly musk the smell of Anbudon. There are strong scents coming in. There are tummies a rumbling.
Well, I mean, food is important. Let's go eat.
It is important.
Before you leave, you would see Hatsu, Ayame, and Asuka doing their routines. Borea might tumble in a little late, maybe, but he would stay somewhat behind, so he couldn't have been seen by ordinary folks outside the boat. And Hatsu would keep moving on with ship's duty and security.
Are you going, so you checking on Boreal, or is that what you mean? Or is it, you're just aware of what his situation is?
He's aware of what the situation is, but I would say Boreal would have more difficulties to go back into a daily routine of training because Hatsu knows he haven't done it in like ages.
You'd be pleasantly surprised to find Boreal with an old sword practicing. Not in the way of magic, but in the way of his home. His stances are a little off. His movements are a little rusty. But given everything that's happened and the time that's on his hands, he wants to practice something. Feeling inspired to combine his magical prowess with his martial skills that he has been raised with. By no means is he terrible with a sword. He's just rusty compared to what you would expect from him or any other Toshitsugu. He does not bear the Toshitsugu name. His surname is Paleclaw, but he was raised and given the respect of the Toshitsugu. He was just always under the impression that he wanted to earn it first. And this is the first time in a long time you've seen him strive for that again. He's practicing. He's wearing his robes. He's doing his best. Something that was kind of sorely needed for such a clumsy little owl.
But if he tips over his own toes, he falls down silently.
A silent feather kicking in.
Love it.
He does that below deck, though. He's not like just standing on the top of the deck, a full owl, just like trying to bring in the chaos. He doesn't want the crisis response unit on his back, so. I'll go to Eldrin. What is your morning like?
Yeah, he's no alarms or anything set up, just rise and grind when it happens.
Chug a monster, put on his tank top.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Every bit of drywall in Anbudon is in danger right now.
Just bloodshot eyes, just like absolutely roided up.
Yeah. Just seeking out every bit of drywall. But no, on a real note, he is going to get up, get food. If he sees anyone else getting food, of course he's going to attend with them. If he doesn't see anybody, he is going to go out and venture around himself to get a bit of a feel on his own for the area that they're in. Kind of, not to recon the area, but in a way, if you think of it, if you travel enough around a place, you will be able to just mind map it. So more or less just kind of going to wander the streets and just walk around, just kind of get a visual of everything. You know, oh, you can see this place from this place. Oh, there's an alleyway here. There's an alleyway there. More or less casually scoping out different places. He would like to, of course, aim to get food, but it's really not his priority. It's more of a hidden agenda to scope out the area, but food is a topic.
Okay. Okay. I mean, for food and stuff, it's easy enough. There are stalls down by the waterfront that are selling both cooked and raw food. I mean, Anbudon is... I say technology not in the sense of technology you and I would have to communicate and play this game right now. I say technology in the sense of a world like this. Now, there is some, like, higher quality tech, I would call it, that you've seen with Simuldecker and his ship and that kind of thing. But this place is like tall brick mills and iron frame workshops and smokestacks hissing and timber buildings just squeezed between newer industrial buildings, and like it's just crammed together. This place expands so fast that every ounce of space is used. So this is probably the closest experience you have to a large scale labyrinth to explore, because it's not like if you were to go somewhere like IRL, if you went to Manhattan, for example, it's laid out in grids and it makes sense, and there's like you can go on streets and corners and you can cross sections and do all of that. That's not what this place is. This place was slapped together as it expanded, so roads jut around and loop around and go into other roads and loop around again. You see overhead exactly, yeah, you see these overhead lines and these like pulley systems that are moving things across from one workshop to another, and like vendors selling things like hot bread, fish, machine parts, lamp oil. Like you this place is made up of different districts: tailors, cobblers, welders, scribes. Like there's a lot here to take in, but this is a very active and fast moving place. It's growing too fast to pretend that it's fine. Like when we as people grow too fast, like there are scars on us that are left behind. We get stretch marks, we get different things, and this city is the same. It has its visible stretch marks of growth because it is just expanding too quickly. That is the overwhelming sense that no matter which of the four of you has experienced in the streets and as you move around, that's what you experience. Eos, I don't know if you're out and about or if you're back still and just kind of hiding out. It's up to you on your spell slot usage, just be conscious of it.
Eos is currently in her room eating one of her rations with the door slightly open so she can hear anything with her keen senses from the outside.
No worries. I would say for someone like Eldrin, because you're the one with like boots to the ground, there is an anti-magic sentiment to this place as well. In the sense that they, like, much like Palperoth, there's just like a no tolerance to magic here. It's very clear from the streets. This is all very clean cut and everything is like people doing people things. It's not a very inclusive area. You'd probably take in that the guards patrol, they have these kind of practical long coats, like the old bobby coats, you know, those kind of things. They're visible. They're not oppressive guards. They're not like kicking down doors looking for people or anything like that. Nothing like that. But it's like, it's something you're very conscious of, especially considering you're here to commit a crime. Like, that makes you more aware of that, and you're trying not to be suspicious, and in that you're kind of like probably more suspicious on walking around. But you know, like it's that kind of energy, that kind of vibe, you know. Like in my head, this is sort of like, when I think of this place, I think of like not real London or old London, but like more like if you watched League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, like that take on like London and stuff, that kind of fictional take on a real place. It's kind of like that, and it feels, well, less well put together. Obviously London has a good system to get around. This place doesn't. You really have to know your way or you'll get lost. That's something worth noting when you're trying to escape with the high value object down streets and moving around. That's basically where I'm going with this.
It's like a jigsaw has been thrown together, but it's not one complete set. It's like multiple jigsaws thrown together to make some Frankenstein looking jigsaw. This is what this village, city, town is. Exactly.
A Frankenstein is probably a good way of looking at it. It's scarred. Yeah, that's the main thing. It's damaged by its own success. That is the other side. This place is very successful. You do have wealthy people here, but in the form of merchants, not just like mass family wealth. You'd find that in Palperoth. That's its own thing. But like here, you find very wealthy merchants and stuff. This is like a good place to be a rogue, and a good time for you guys to have no rogues in your party. This is the way.
Oops.
Yeah. But that is just kind of that's kind of the breakdown of this place.
Makes me think where you said like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, it makes me think of like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You see like this big area, like the factory, all this technology. We then see like these kind of old style broken down houses, things just slapped together, things falling apart, but you see the disconnect between wealth and poverty and everything. Is it noticeable with clothes for the people, you know, in the areas where there are like wooden houses kind of just slapped together in between things, where you would see people out in rags or, you know, kind of begging for food? Would anything like this?
Like, poverty exists here too, but it's not like you'll find someone on every street corner. You will find the occasional person who's just a beggar, like Dash. Not Heidemann, the other Dash H, to make sure it's not confusing. But like there are people like that, but it is also like when you look at some of the wooden buildings that are built, it looks like a floor was built and then another floor was built because it's kind of off center, and another floor was built and it's kind of off center the other way, and it's like almost like an apartment complex, and it's really weird. Like it's not like anything you've seen in any other town you've been to. It's definitely something that would catch your eye, and it's made with cheap materials that eventually probably get upgraded or whatever when they can afford to. The class disparity here is all workers versus merchants versus like the high tier merchants. But like if you're talking people who run the museum, for example, they're the same people who probably run 8 or 9 different expensive buildings in this area. Like they don't just run one. Like property is also a big thing. So you're dealing with like you can tell the difference because the merchants are usually in like sort of longer coats and stuff that look a bit more expensive, but they're still usually wearing grays and stuff, since if you wore white here or something like that, there would be no point. It would just be dirty in 2 minutes because that's just the way this place is. And all of the worker class, you can definitely tell the difference because they're like covered in soot. They're wearing like very practical clothing, and they look like you can see the calluses from space, basically. Like they're ready to do some real work and labor. You do also have like the lower tier of merchants, which you would have like met in a few stores and stuff like that, and then the higher the class of store, the higher the tier of merchant. That kind of thing.
Yeah. In regards to attire, you mentioned different styles of clothing representing different things, level of wealth, etc. For Eldrin, where based on what he is seeing and realizing based off your descriptions, where would he fit in with this, considering his current setup with the jacket, the pauldron on the arm, and his coat with being white and having the blue strip on it, and then also being kind of a long coat also?
Eldrin is someone who probably looks like either you look like a very eclectic merchant, a very successful doctor type, or you would look more like you're someone who is traveling through but picking up supplies for something that you do. At the very minimum, you look like a very high tier guard because you're just kind of like, you have the big metal arm and you've got a weapon and you've got like you kind of look armored. And most people like either like have merchants where like you'll have guards for like the successful merchants who come around, and especially traveling merchants. So you might be just on a rest from that or whatever, but you're also quite tall and quite noticeable. So people would think either at the very least you're a guard for someone, at the most you're like a doctor or a merchant or something like with success to it. Okay. Nobody really wears white here, so if you can afford to keep your whites white, gotta be able to do that somehow. So yeah,
fairy liquid, what can I say?
Other liquids are available. No, wait, don't phrase it like that.
Oh god, reel it in. Cool, perfect. Eccentric doctor. Me, really? Cool. I don't think, based on the time, there are any stores, stalls, merchants opened as of yet, but he will be keeping an eye open. As a note I will make is that he currently actually does not have his weapon. That was taken by Hashirama, and he never got it back.
Right, you did actually give it to Hashirama. In that case, you have the holster for a weapon, and you might be in the market for one. How about we put it that way then? You're absolutely right. Well remembered. I forgot about that. I apologize. Yeah, you're right.
I noted that was left with him. So yeah, he is definitely in the market for it. He would be looking around, but like you mentioned with what his appearance would be, he's unsure of the alias / appearance he would be trying to pull off and take, because again, remembering what Hatsu had mentioned about your name, your presence, what you're doing here, and the idea, of course, we're here to commit a crime. It's not something that he's going to openly be just shouting from the rafters that, hey, I'm Eldrin, I'm from here, I'm here to also do the X, Y, and Z. So he will be keeping to himself. He will be avoiding any kind of contact with anyone, kind of just spectating from afar, but he will be going for food. Sure.
I would say mark off. Do you have bells? If you have bells, that would probably be better. Then I'd say like 2 or 3 should be fine for just basic food.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bells, bells.
Yeah.
Eos, I'm about 200 yards behind you, so don't look around.
That actually made me jump.
Where are you guys going, by the way?
Eos, you would... I think it's Eos, you said, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in my room.
Eos didn't go out because she didn't want to use this, the spell. So she's still back at the place. Welcome, Ryan.
So, where are they going?
Oh, hang on. So...
Do you need to swallow your food for a mental message? Interesting.
She knows.
She's just choking in her thoughts.
But it does say you whisper the message, just that nobody else hears you say what you say.
That's true. Okay, yeah.
Eldrin's gone shopping for a new sword, and Weslyn's trying to find tickets to the museum. Hatsu, I think, has gone out to see Boreal. Boreal has a sword. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I don't know how you would know that yet, but we'll roll with it.
Yeah. Somehow I felt him with a sword would be less dangerous than him with just him. Okay, well, I'm out on the tops. I'm going to go and have a scout around.
Okay.
Let me know if anything happens.
Yes.
Enjoy your breakfast.
Thank you.
I like that she didn't end the message. She just wanted you to know if she's eating. She opted to continue that message.
Sounds like blueberries.
Okay, so you're going out on the rooftops, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to come in and say hello. That was
awesome. I didn't actually even catch that you were back, so I was like, Ryan?
Just like a real rogue. I snuck in.
Got a nat 20. Startled the DM.
Yeah, essentially I want to head to the museum anyway, with LB. We're going to do a little bit of recon, like aerial recon.
I'll get a roll for both perception and investigation. I'll give you different information based on the rolls. The one thing that's super clear is that the museum district is cleaner, prouder, more watched, more guarded.
Okay.
Moving across the rooftops is easy enough. I will say moving across some of the more ramshackled wooden rooftops is actually kind of difficult because it's not very well put together. So like you're more conscious of each step so you don't just like fall through.
Right.
If you're on the rooftops, you'd notice that there are basically chimneys everywhere. Smoke drifting like out towards the sea and everything as well. You can almost see where the winds change and interact with each other just on the smoke itself because of the way it dances around.
See, I use that as my camouflage, so that serves me well anyway.
That mask has a filter in it.
Oh yeah. We've actually discussed that and said that it does.
Oh, I think we did talk about that. You're right.
Yeah.
The further towards the museum you move, the more beautiful and ornate, and like the streets are cobble, but the cobble's laid out nicer and almost in patterns. Like the roofs themselves are more sturdy, made of brick and like tile and stuff like that. Yeah.
So this is the money area.
This is the money area, or at least one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. I roll perception for Albie first.
Cool. I think you would. Oh no, not advantage with that. That's Owl's.
Not
right?
him, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a 9 plus 3. So his is a 12.
12.
Because he's shit for that.
What would he notice?
That's literally what I use it for, and he's crap for it. Perception from me will be a 18.
18.
And my investigation will be a 23.
Okay, we'll go with the 18 and say you and Albie got that together. And the 20 is in like the help action. And the 23 is for investigation. Okay. The first thing you pick up on is that whereas further away from here you find things like clothesline, rooftop water barrels, vent pipes, maintenance ladders, like all sorts of stuff. Like it's very put together. The further in you get, it becomes like skylights and crystalline windows on the roof and stuff to let the light in, whatever little light you can get through the fog, the smog, I should say. Larger rooftops, cleaner stone courtyards, like fewer people, is also noteworthy, which is kind of leaning into your favor in a sense. But it is more heavily guarded, especially closer to the museum and like the different areas here of interest. Next to it is a bell tower. The clock faces themselves have mechanical vents that release steam bursts, and the clock does seem to be more or less like accurate to a time, so you can actually physically see the time from almost anywhere here. And that is kind of where you would spot the museum. What you would spot about the museum is that you can kind of see the main sort of halls. There's a lot of windows and stuff. There's multiple floors. It looks like 3 from the outside. There is an area that would be considered like a sort of rear service area where you can bring in and out, different, like for example, if you bring something into the museum or whatever, you're not going to go in the front door with it. So there's a section for that, and that is more heavily guarded than the front is. The front seems to be not open yet, but there's an area like a window for tickets and stuff like that, so you can go up and get out like a ticket or whatever, just entry. But the back area seems to be more discreet, but also protected. Like at this hour of the morning, there's already quite a bit of guards, and the museum isn't even open yet. So, with the investigation, I'll say what you do find are some really good vantage points. Things to take in, not only the exposed skyline and sort of area, but you would get some good vantage points to see through the windows of the museum, and also to sort of map out guards. So if you were to spend like a good chunk of time here, for example, this would be a good place for you, or at least a few good places to watch. But moving through the rooftops is probably your better chance of stealth than moving through the streets, for sure.
Yeah. So essentially, what I want to do is I want to set up shop in 3 different vantage points around the museum.
Yeah.
One at the front, like front on if I can, and then one either back corner of the building. So I have like we're talking like, Back to the Future fucking V-shape,
right.
flux capacitor kind of shaping.
Yeah.
Is the pattern of what I'm using to mark out things. Another thing I want to look for, I know this is Fantasyland, but it's still based off the ideals of like architecture and stuff of real world. A lot of old buildings like this would have had what they would have called like a dummy floor.
Sure.
So it might be upstairs, or it might be lower down, where you'll literally see windows that get cut off,
right,
like halfway up the window. And it's like, well, what's below that then? And it's usually like dummy floors that are put in so that they can make it level and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
I'm looking out for those kinds of things to see if there's any like sneaky passageways underneath or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that's something you can find. They would be on the sides of the buildings. So where you have the front and the back would be longer, the sides would be shorter, almost like if you asked a child to draw a house, the way they make it kind of like this rectangle, and then it's kind of like that kind of shape. This would be quite a rectangular building, and in that sort of side area on both sides, you would find that they have more dummy floors, just to balance the fact that this is on a hill leading up towards that clock tower and everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So, I want to try and get ground level then, and see with those dummy floors whether that part of the window leads into anything that goes underneath.
Okay. That would be... I'm kind of willing to give you both perception or investigation. Do you have... Remind me, I know Dash does, but do you have tools that kind of help you with that kind of thing?
Well, I have my thieves tools, but that doesn't necessarily help me with that. However, with my newly acquired cartographer's tools, I'm sure that there'd be a spyglass or some form of spy eye, something like that I might be able to use to.
All right, I'll give you
through.
I'll give you advantage. You can't technically with LB anyway. I'm just kind of narratively trying to figure out what you're doing. So that would be that'd be fine.
Investigation.
Yeah, investigation's good.
I'd had the advantage because it's only an 18 that time.
18. Using the timing between guard patrols that you've already sort of rhythmically mapped out, excuse me, you find there are moments where you can get in close as well. So you utilize both distance and like up close sort of skills to find these. From a distance, you don't see anything that looks like a doorway or even like a vent as such or anything like that you could utilize. When you get up close, you do find markings or etchings that would symbolize that there should be something here, but it's like there isn't anything here. You push on it, you try to find a mechanism or release. There's nothing there, but there does seem to be like almost letterbox grids along the edge of the building. It could be decorative, but your intuition would tell you otherwise.
Okay. But see, as an older building, these could have been drop points as well. Like, they could have literally been drop points. Can I get to one of the floors with the dummy window? With the dummy floor, sorry.
You can. Yeah, you would have a little bit of time. So I would say you probably could, because you have flight on your side. So, like, you kind of can maneuver and a little bit quicker. Yeah.
I'm pretty quick on my feet as well anyway.
Yeah.
So I want to get to one of these windows where it's a dummy floor and you can see the different levels and stuff. Like, so up here is the museum level and down here is like dark and gloomy and stuff, I'm assuming. Would I be right in assuming that this would be like a paneled window, so there'd be different like squares and like different shapes and stuff to make it look pretty and all that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a very ornate building, so that, yeah, it's incredibly decorative.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to spend some time and as much time as I need, because I need to do this very slowly so I can do it very quietly. And essentially, I want to pick out the putty work around the edge of one of the small panes so that I can remove the small pane without making any noise.
Yeah, it would take a lot of back and forth to try and do that without being seen. So I would say you can get started on that, but as the streets get busier, I don't know if you can get it done. So let's find out. I'll let you use I'm probably going to go with sleight of hand here to try and see if you have the sort of dexterity and nimbleness to do this. I know sleight of hand is generally about hiding things and stuff, but I'd be interested to see if you could use that. Probably be the most suitable for this as well. So
yeah, no, that's fair. That's very fair. Sleight of hand, let's go. So that's a roll 15 for a 22 total.
Rogues, man.
I mean, this is what I'm built for, so
this is it, yeah. Yeah, okay. You managed to get a lot of the putty out around the glass.
Now I'm only taking out one of the small panels.
Small
now, like one of
yeah. The pane itself, or like the little grid, it's more like a loose tooth at the moment. That's a disgusting analogy, but it's more like a loose tooth. You can kind of wobble it in and out. You'd have to remove a little bit more to sort of move it, but you can see that this method would work to try and remove it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm going to spend my time doing. So that and what I've done, as in looking at the guard rotations and stuff like that, that's essentially what I'm doing for this, for as long as it takes. So
I would say make a stealth check for me then, if you're going to try and do this for a prolonged period, so we can make sure that you.
Okay. That's a 7 rolled for a 17.
Okay. Yeah, for the moment you feel like you're okay, but it keeps interrupting you as guards go by and stuff. You're not able to sort of blend in. You do have to keep moving back and forth, so it takes some time. But at some point, yeah, you'll get to the point where you can remove this sort of pane. I would say it's like big enough that you could get your whole like arm through and kind of like sort of upper part of your torso, but it's not big enough to really.
My plan then, once the pane is removed, is to grab Albie and say, have a look for me, and just push him through so that he can have and then I can actually I'm going to hide myself away in a bush, and essentially I want to look through his eyes to see what he's seeing down there, see if I can work it out.
Okay. So Albie would go inside this building. I mean, the building itself is like quite like it uses sort of what made you want to know that? It uses coastal stone. Let's call it that. It's definitely like weathered stone that looks beautiful and was not from here, so it was brought here.
Okay.
There's a phrase built into what would be the main door. You would have seen this as you're circling the building, that is just trade unity progress. It looks clean. It looks sort of industrial, but by like as if you were like faux industrial. So like it looks like it's made to look industrial, as in like if you went to a play and they were like trying to mimic an industrial thing, you would see that it's not a real industrial thing. It just looks industrial. It has this presence of it. I don't know how to better explain that, but like it looks like it's like mimicking it rather than actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
With Albie and yourself, it's actually you. So I'll give you. Give me perception and investigation again. Let's go both, because there's different things you'll see doing this. I'll also need a stealth roll, but that would be with Albie.
Okay. So perception was a 23. The investigation is only a 3 roll, so I'm going to use my inspiration and re-roll that.
Nice. Just mark off the inspiration. Go ahead.
Did.
Hell yeah.
So it's a 15 rolled for a 21 instead. So 23 perception, 21 investigation.
Yeah.
And a stealth for
with
LB.
Albie's stats, yeah. Because there is just a bird flying around the museum. It's an empty museum, so there's the echoes and stuff.
Oh, no, this is the underfloor. I didn't put him above.
Oh, sorry, you're in the under part. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I want him to map out underneath, like if there's secret stairwells, all that kind of stuff. That's what I'm looking for. But yeah, so Dex is the bonus, right? Just so I know what to add.
Dex is the bonus, yes, sir.
So he got a dirty 20 for stealth.
Damn, nice. Okay. This area, the first thing you would note, could you feel or do you just see?
I see.
Okay. This place looks more like, let's call it maintenance, like a maintenance level. This is one floor down. There are sharp echoes here. So like Albie is trying to move slowly and glide as much as they can, and like they're not like they're your birds, so they understand what it means to be like stealthy, to be hidden, to be like to get through this stuff. This is kind of staff only corridors, no public signage, crates, packing straw, wrapping cloth, inventory shelves, like receiving inspection area. That's what you're finding here. And also delivery access, which leads to a ramp to that door that you had seen from the outside where there's a couple guards standing outside. That area.
Okay.
There would be things like a staff area here. So staff lockers, coat hooks, break table, kettle, you know, like, not like an electric kettle, like a hub kettle. Workroom, tools. The tools would be things like brushes and benches and stuff. There'd be some solvents and stuff to try and clean up and restore art as well. There aren't many people here. There are people here who are getting ready to open the museum and do things, but it's very minimal skeleton staff, mostly security from the security area. Doors are plainer but heavier, thick hinges, better locks. Like this already looks more secure. And there's a few doors that Albie can't really get through. What you don't see here is any kind of like egg or vault or like kind of flashy protection or anything. This just seems like some kind of maintenance level for the most part, or staff area.
Okay, and he can't get any further in because the doors were shut, you said?
That's right, yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna call him back out. You know, like, you know, he's gonna know to come back out. I'm gonna replace the panel.
Yep.
And just put like a little bit of putty on it just to hold it, like not that I'd have to spend another hour digging it out kind of thing. And then yeah, I'm gonna head back into the town. I need to try and pick up a few things.
No problem. Albie comes back out the window. You kind of fix it, but you know, ish. I'll say I'll go with performance, but the check isn't super high because people aren't walking around just looking at the window. But I just want to know how well you kind of put it back in such a way that it looks the way it did before. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So what check do you need?
Just performance, if you don't mind.
Oh, my lowest one. Let's go. Oh, that's a natural one.
And that one. Okay. As you're putting the window back in, it kind of just falls in, just smashes on the floor. Probably a good time to just go. All buildings fall apart. Like, it's not like you're leaving a trace. You rolled really well on your stealth. There's no like footprints here. There's no handprints there. The glass just falls in and breaks. Yeah.
I'm gonna get. Yeah, I knew I should have kept my freaking inspiration for something better, but there we go. I'm gonna disappear, but I'm gonna have Elle be like sit on a tree branch or something close enough just to see if there's anything that happens, anyone looking around, any noise, anything, just in case.
So you're kind of just inspecting the kind of fallout of the fallen glass. Is that it? You're trying to see how quickly people respond to it?
I want to see if anyone responds to it and how quickly. Yeah.
It's pretty quick. So you go back to your vantage point that we discussed earlier, and you just watch with your telescopic lens. You watch, and it takes maybe 20 seconds for someone to just come and check quickly what's going on. It's one guard who runs in just to check, because the sound of glass breaking is always going to be an alarming sound at a museum. Just for whatever reason, they do seem to be inspecting it, but as they are and they're kneeling down and inspecting it, 2 more guards come from behind, and then a few come in from the side. So people respond quickly to the sounds and noises and whatever. You do get the impression that like there are quick responses even during the close hours. Yeah.
There's quick responses, but do they seem alarmed, or do they seem like, oh, okay, it's just a small panel, like...
They were alarmed at first, and then they do go and check, and even 2 come outside and just like look towards the window and kind of inspect it to see if it was like foul play, or if it was just, did a bird crash into the window and like impale itself, or like what happened, you know? But they look at it, and the overall impression seems to be very mellow after they've inspected it. But until they give that message of all clear, it does seem to be that they are quite panicked. What I will say that you note, though, because you did wait, is that they aren't just speaking to each other outside. They're speaking into the sleeves of their coat, which would suggest that they have some sort of mechanism for communication.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah, Roger. Okay, good to know. Cool. I will let someone else go so I don't take up all the time.
At that point, you do notice as a familiar child walks up, and Weslyn, I would say you're probably approaching the museum at this point. It's going to open soon.
You're on mute if you're talking.
Try that now. Is that working? That's working now. Yes. Okay, good. He will wait patiently at the door until it is open so that he might enter.
You join the queue. You see some guards that look kind of alarmed by something. They run past you and they run around the corner. They're just checking something. Don't worry about it. A few minutes later, they come back rather chill, and then as they come back in, someone rolls up the shutters, and this guy walks into a little booth, and he has a little hat on, and he's just like, yes?
I would like to go inside.
That will be 2 bells, young sir.
Why?
That is the cost of admission. It goes towards maintenance, upkeep.
Oh. Okay then. Do you have difficulties in keeping this place maintained?
It is quite a expensive building.
How much does that cost normally?
That's above me. I don't know. I don't own the building. I just work here.
Who owns the building?
That would be, he looks at you and he's like, we do not disclose these things.
Oh. Well, okay then, I guess. I mean, it would be nice to know, because...
2 bells for admission.
Oh. I don't have any bells. I have
2 bells?
I put a gold a gold piece on the counter.
Oh.
Or
Are
Yes.
you trying to pay for other patrons to enter today?
Oh, sure.
Very good. With this, we shall it shall be free admission for all for today.
Really? Oh. Well, hold on. I'll give them another one.
Kian is just losing his shit.
It really should be free.
Oh. Well, then we shall make it free for the rest of the week on this. Thank you,
Oh.
young sir.
Good.
I'm pretty sure this will bring in quite a few heads. This will be one of our busiest weeks in a long time.
Great. I'm glad that that people have the opportunity to see whatever's in here. Maybe you could tell me who owns it now?
You didn't hear it from me, but it is one of the many places owned by the Cogsworth family.
Oh yeah, I've heard that name before. Well, you let them know that there's mighty fine people trying to be patrons of this mighty fine establishment. So, you know, should they ever want to like have a drink or something, beer probably would be great. You just let them know. Okay, bye.
Yes, goodbye. And they put up he goes and he puts up a sign that just says free entry all week.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Should never charge for museums. What are you talking about? Go on in there.
You just paid. Okay.
Money. So rich. Wonderful. For my next purchase, it'll be a nesting yacht. I'll go in.
Okay. So you're just sort of walking around as a picture. So you're talking main floor, kind of. Oh, sorry. Main floor and yeah, area. Okay. Let me put everything together for you here. So, Weslyn, welcome to Anbudon Museum of Lore and Industry.
Fantastic.
So, I'm just pulling everything up here. The main floor itself, it's old wood, old stone, old stories, trying to look tidy. It is beautifully laid out, but it's old. I don't know how much you'd feel like this based on Weslyn just constantly probably feeling watched, but this is a building that feels watched even when no one is watching. It's an expensive building. The main atrium is open, kind of with like an upper balcony to the second floor and an upper balcony to the third floor. You can see straight up into a skylight that's above the main area. The atrium light shifts through sort of a gear skylight, almost clockwork. It's using mirrors to reflect light into this building. There's a faint ticking of a hum almost in the walls that's subtle but constant. People starting to come in are moved in like this kind of guiding flow, like they're gently being herded. Something you'd be familiar with as well. Okay. So what you would find here, if you're looking at it from a perspective of, say, the heist, guards are placed where they can see everything, but they're not being intrusive. They're not like obviously there, but they're there. Like the way Disneyland hides things just using clever painting and stuff. That's like this. There are a deceptive amount of guards here. There are dozens with practice smiles and careful wording. There are statues of founders displayed almost like saints, but with detailed sort of smooth sanding on the ones that are wood. The ones that are marble are so polished and beautiful. It's a testament to the craft. There are rebellion artifacts presented respectfully, but what wouldn't look like fully honestly. What I mean by that is that it's displayed in a way that it looks like it's telling the narrative it wants to tell rather than telling the narrative that needs to be told. The labels feel negotiated, like someone argued over every sentence. The Greenwood room carries the most tension under the polish. There are doors here, like staff-only doors, for example, but they're hidden in plain sight, especially near the sensitive sort of galleries and stuff. The annex side feels less alive, more controlled, and more engineered. And in this annex, again, you're seeing figures, statues, and ornaments. Nothing really that pulls the eye, but you do also see a plaque of donors who have donated to the museum, and the quantities aren't shown, but the names, though they don't really sort of strike familiar to Weslyn, they scream Palperoth. Like, there's just a very specific tone to them.
So it's all Heidemann?
Yeah, they're all just Heidemann. Different -H, -HE, and like, yeah. It's memory under lock and key, you know?
So there's not really anything in this museum that's of like great interest. It's like a kind of a mid-century styled collection of random artifacts. Yeah.
It's, how do I put it? In museums, like when you have a specific theme or event, they bring in rare pieces from around the place, and those are the kind of staged display of, like, those are the things that bring people in because they want to see these things while they're there. What you're seeing is the standard kind of what you'd expect from a museum. There's paintings and there's art and there's statues and it's beautiful and there's depictions of history and there's books and there's whatever, but it's not the real meat and potatoes of why you would go to a museum. And there's certainly no egg. Like, you don't feel like this place is like evil or something. It's just depicting a narrative the way people do, from their own perspective, and in a way that depicts things the way they want it depicted. History is just remembered by the person who tells the story, right? So
that's true. Is there anything from the earliest parts of Anbudon's history here? Anything regarding its founding? Anything regarding the early leaseholds of the region? Anything on conflicts or wars besides the rebellion?
The rebellion, yes, but what captures you first is the founders. There are at least 5 references to the name Theywise. It's presented in a civic, polished way. Builders of Anbudon, not like a messy kind of people, not remembered viciously, but in the early lineage, there's a few names that stick out to you in the earliest lineage of the city. Gareth, Rowan, Llewellyn, Seren, and Rhys. 5 names spread out, but all contributors to early Anbudon.
Are there any references to that name in later bits of history, recent donors, patrons, contributors in the past, say, 100 years?
Theywise is not an uncommon name here, so you would see it recognized. What stands out to you as you walk around is that the name is... it's remembered, but not always in a positive light. There's a special focus around someone named Rowan, a name that may be familiar to you. There's a plaque that describes them as a organizer, speaker, a leader figure. Her references are mostly rebel era, so during the Greenwood Rebellion. Anything that's worded around them avoids naming people who profited, who betrayed, who benefited from this. It's almost like looking at a very cropped piece of a picture. It's trying to tell a story without giving any detail, without any information. It honors the Theywise name, but in a very controlled way. It preserves the legacy, but it looks like it's trimming out a dangerous truth. Like it's trying to avoid saying what it's really talking about. In a way that someone is speaking their own narrative, their own truth, and that's all that's shown here. And anything that goes against that was too difficult to sweep under the rug is referenced, is mentioned, is here. But there's no information about why it's here. It almost feels misplaced because there's clearly threads that have been cut. Even in the bits that you do get reference to, it's like traditional accounts suggest, civic memory preserves, disputed records. Like it's anything that's even talked about remotely about the Theywise almost sounds like fifth-hand information that's like, well, maybe not. Like it sounds like people are trying really hard to bury what was being said. You're not gaining anything about any deep genealogy, private family records, no roll letters, uncensored materials. You're not getting any linked to your branch of the family tree. But there are archives. They're just not open to the public. There may be information in there that could be interesting.
Anything regarding the Theywise in a contemporary sense, or are all the references old?
After the war, not the war, sorry, excuse me, after the uprising, not the war. After the uprising, the rebellion, the name Theywise almost seems to disappear. In a way that would suggest that it may have been either the end of the lineage or more likely it was too dangerous to wear that name. While it doesn't point a finger at like what necessarily happened during the rebellion, it does suggest that the Theywise and everything wasn't really on the right side of that, if that makes sense. There's a few museums in this world that have things pertaining to, say, a civil war. And two different people walking into that museum would see two different sides of the story because they may believe in two different opposing sides of a civil war. That's part of that history. I'm not going to bring up any specific ones because I'm not trying to offend people or upset people, but this is just the natural way. If you have family and stuff like that partook in one side or another side of a civil war, they may believe that that side was correct. But this museum doesn't depict it in a way that like the Theywise were necessarily correct or incorrect, but it doesn't also shine a very positive light on it, let's say.
Anyone seem like they look like they're in charge here?
At the moment, it's mostly guards and stuff, but you're still there quite early. You may have spent about 30 minutes kind of walking around or doing things, but it's not necessarily what's the best way of putting this? It's not necessarily clear who runs this place, if that makes sense. It's mostly just guards right now. What you do get, I'll try and condense this as much as I can. Because there's a little bit of cross information that each of you may have, or some of you may have, about the Greenwood Rebellion and stuff. But basically, in 962, and the Anbudon Council sort of had plans that revealed sort of a plan to industrialize major sections of the ancient forest around the city, not just the city itself. At this time, it wasn't even a city; it was mostly a large town, but it was a pro-growth council that were like really trying to expand at all costs, threatening the arborous wilderness and the older city values. And the Theywise people who were sort of referenced in building Anbudon and bringing it to its to where it is, they clearly had something to do with the founding of this, not just this area but this town. And this council had opposing views on the values that were instilled in this town about respecting the land around it. And that's when you find that people like Rowan Theywise, they found this sort of as a betrayal of the values that were instilled in the founding principles that were instilled in Anbudon in the first place. From what you can sort of gather, it seems like that Rowan had organized a preservation movement, rallying citizens around sustainable growth and forest protection, or at least regrowth of the forest, respecting what you're taking. But this is what somewhere along the way led to a full-scale rebellion against the council and people of this place. The end of her story comes with she was arrested for charges of sedition and was executed to bring an end to the dissent here. Her death, as it's portrayed here, is more like that's the end of it. This was like bringing down the evil and corruption within Anbudon and that kind of thing. But that doesn't line up with the stories that are kind of being told here and stuff. It sounds more like it made her a martyr because the rebellion got worse after her death. But none of that information is massively outlined here. There's just information that I think Weslyn would have about that as well, because I believe you had a book on this at some point.
Yep.
Yeah, and so that information would be in there. Another Theywise, Reese, took over at some point much later. But what happened with them isn't really documented here. It then goes on about like external threats from neighboring city-states and like kind of at what happened for the growth of Anbudon. I'm trying to talk about it without giving too much away, but also still make sense out of it, so it's a little bit tricky. I apologize. But that's more or less where you're at with this, and there isn't much more information or lore to be found in this area for that. But in some cases, it looks like at least that Rowan was made an example of, but also could have just been an enduring cultural symbol of what happened here and what came from here.
Yes, Weslyn will spend a few hours, I guess, doing this, looking at artifacts, reading plaques, getting a sense of the evolution of the city, kind of tracing things backwards from Rowan, if possible, or where possible, and wait to find someone who's in charge. See if he can't get himself into those archives.
Yeah. So I would say, what's the best way of doing this? Make an investigation check. Let's do that.
We could do that. Investigating.
There isn't anyone really available at the moment. But what one of the guards would explain to you is that the archives are not for public, not for the public. They are for preservation of materials and stuff, and for documents and storage of things that like records and files and parts of history that are afraid to be lost, basically.
What if I have something for the archives?
It would depend on what it is, but you could submit it to be reviewed. Yeah.
To who?
How much is the guard going to say? If you wanted to come back in the evening, you could speak to one of the people who run the place, but they are a little busy because they're preparing for the imminent arrival of an honored guest. So the place is being not renovated, but I can't think of a better word, so I'm going to say renovated. Yeah.
Well, then I will come back tonight. I would like to speak to them.
Guard just nods. That's all they're willing to give. I was trying to think if there was anything else, but that's more or less that's it. Yeah.
There's still a lot of information. It's a lot to think about, and Weslyn will leave knowing that he has made a museum free for a week, and that he knows more than he did before.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
And some names. He knows to meet somebody here at night, and he is going to try and attract a Cogsworth with a generous donation. This museum made possible by donations by you.
A Theywise founding something within this Anbudon area once again. I'm always trying to be so cautious as a DM. I stumble over my words a little bit, especially when I'm as tired as I am. But it's always so difficult. I always find that tricky. Like, because you guys ask really good questions, and I want to just give you all of the information, but I'm like, what would actually be known? What would be here? What would be seen? So it's always like a bit of a journey. I'll say that the group probably reunites around midday back at the area so they can discuss what's been seen, what's been done. And what we'll do is we'll take our break now for a few minutes, and we'll come back and then we'll pick up right from there where we were. and you guys can discuss what you can discuss. Before we go on break, very quickly, thank you so much. On your end, just dropped like a bajillion subs. I'm not even...
At least 5.
I think it's 85 subs on the channel,
Something
which
like
is
that.
absolutely
It
insane.
was a lot.
They're on the record for 85 there, which is crazy. I think they almost single-handedly smashed our hype train goal, which is absolutely incredible.
So good.
If you see me slowly getting distracted or going wide-eyed at anything, it was probably that. We try and keep the recordings as YouTube friendly for down the line as possible, but we just want to say a
Not the
huge
cat
thank you.
biting your feet at all.
No, and that is also a real risk. No, but thank you so much. You're a big supporter of the channel. You've donated so many subs in history, so thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And for the other people who contributed as well, I did see names, but it was all very fast, and I was still trying to like read my notes and provide information at the same time, and my brain just went. So, thank you so much. We appreciate you. I'm gonna get a coffee. We'll be back in a few minutes. Enjoy the boss fight. Feel free to contribute in chat for the boss fight, and we will BRB. BRB. All right, we are back. We're live. We're back. We're live. Hell yeah. I'm caffeinated and ready to go, in case you couldn't tell. We found our group back together. Eldrin, I haven't forgotten your sword. We'll go through that in a few minutes. But the group are together. Feel free to take it away.
So, how was the trip, Weslyn?
Confusing, but also very interesting.
How much are tickets?
They're free.
What?
Yeah, for the next week, they're free.
Oh, is it like a special event?
Well, yeah, there's a special person coming, apparently. Like a guest of some sort, like a guest that they are getting ready for. And they have an archive that no one apparently is allowed to go into unless you got stuff to put in the... I don't know. You would think that there would be some people who would want to, like, look at that stuff. But I guess only, like, the Cogsworth people, I guess, are the ones who can get in there. Because they're the ones who own the building, apparently. So.
They own the museum.
Don't worry about that, Weslyn. We'll all be going in there soon enough.
Ooh.
I just did.
No, but I mean into the area they don't want you to go in.
Is the egg in the archive?
Let's get permission. That's easy. Just be like, tonight I'm going to go and see if I can't get permission. Because the person in charge is going to be there.
How do you propose you're going to get permission?
Well, I mean, it seems like money does a lot of stuff in this town. So I have money, and it doesn't seem to take a whole lot of these coins to get anything happening. So why not just give them some of these and then go in there?
I think that's bribery.
It's patronage.
Okay, probably the same thing.
Yeah, there's a whole plaque with people's names on it, and they gave money to do stuff. So, like, why couldn't I do the same?
Is that how that works, Majorana?
Weslyn,
What?
did you patronage your way into the museum by any chance?
He said it's free for a week.
Yeah, it's free.
What happens after the week?
I guess they charge for it afterwards. I told them it should be free, but they said something about they have to do upkeep or something. But
I won't ask what you gave, but just how much, like just a number, regardless of what it was, what currency it was. But did you give anything?
oh yeah, I gave them 2 of the coins.
Oh, 2 bells.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, 2 bells for a full week. Sounds like
Pretty
a great
decent
deal.
deal, actually. You can get
Yeah, it's a
you
good
only
deal.
like
Free.
5
It's
bags
free.
of
It's a
flour
good
for that
deal.
amount.
Yeah.
The only reason I ask is from looking around. This is not an area where everything is free. Like you mentioned, you flash a little bit of coin, things can happen.
Yeah, I learned that since coming here. Pretty good
Just
lesson,
like
actually.
worship isn't free as well, right, Eldrin?
You got me
Worship's
there?
not free.
Worship can be free. Aiding your worship and supporting your god and patronage can be free. But it's always great to give when others cannot. Madriana.
Eldrin prefers his premium version of his faith.
There's
it
a
would
premium version of the faith.
He bought orphans.
seem. Yes.
You bought orphans?
Yes, he
I
now
didn't
has
buy
slaves.
orphans. I signed up for Gods Are Us Pro Max
does that mean?
premium subscription, and
What's the subscription?
It comes with orphans?
Basically, if he pays enough, he can get slaves and become a slave owner.
no,
What?
That's so rude, Eldrin.
no.
And they're all children, so they're cheap labor.
You know, in some regions that's not allowed.
This
Eldrin.
is very forbidden. No.
Well, where are these orphans?
Her sense of humor is going to get me in trouble someday.
If
Oh,
you
is
think
this-
you're in trouble now?
Are you joking about the orphans?
I hope she
No, he
is.
does have orphans.
I will refund every orphan. I don't
You
want any.
can't refund an orphan if they're.
So what you're saying is you've purchased these orphans, and now you're going to give them away to people that probably won't look after them correctly. Well, that's just rude.
That's
Is there
nasty.
room on the boat for the orphans?
I mean, the boat can take, was it 150 tons? How many?
We have
Orphan
enough
way.
people back at the Pearl, unless someone suggests we can also take orphans, give them a
We
better life
are.
on the
No.
Pearl.
We can't just leave the orphans here if they... Yeah, you just can't just leave the orphans here.
I've saved the 2 orphans that I had to deal with. I'm not saving Eldrin's orphans as well.
And
Well,
maybe
Elvin
I'll
saved
get
the
it right.
orphans.
Does he have a boat?
Well, don't we have a boat?
Collective have a
Hmm.
boat.
We also have a responsibility to the people back home.
If we return with a lot of food for us and the people in the bastion, and a lot of orphans, people will ask a lot of questions about the orphans.
They would ask a lot of questions about all the food.
I don't think so. I think that's what the plan was. Maybe
That's why we came here. Like, they knew that, yeah.
I think the people at the Pearl would maybe not ask questions about the orphans, but they would.
Well, number one,
understand
where are they going to
great
stay?
in the houses that are all going to be built with said material. We'll also be bringing back.
So are the orphans going to be working too?
No, they're going to be learning, being
the job?
kids, do their things.
So
No.
essentially they're getting a free ride then?
Free ride?
I'm pretty sure
No.
we can get to the scrub to death.
Like free housing, free food. They're not going to do anything. You just said they're not going to work.
We need someone to scrub the deck and remove the barnacles.
The aim for them would be to find a family for them, to love them and care for them, like anyone would ask and want, what everyone deserves.
Well, there's a lot of
Okay.
families there.
So let's say we bring back 10 orphans. That's how many you've bought and purchased, right?
I've
8 of them find families and 2 of them can't. What are you going to do with them 2? Are you going to carry them around with you?
We also have people in the
can't
book.
carry them with me, but I would usher them around with me, I guess. Yes,
So they're your 2 special orphans.
that sounds very weird, but I would protect them if that's the question. Yes, I think I'm a bit young for orphan minding scenarios, but
Dash is 27.
Dash is not
and
an
I'm
orphan.
younger. And there you go. Remember, Dash is the one that got me drunk, tried to take advantage of me in the water.
What does this have to do with the orphans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not responsible enough. I can't even fend off Dash.
Who
How
gave
could I
you?
fend?
Aldrin,
How
I
could I
don't have a
fend off-
pocket.
Okay.
Should I take your money for you?
No, you don't have pockets.
Do
So
need
you're not
money?
responsible enough, but yet you
Backpack.
feel like you can buy orphans. Like,
I
how
did
does
not
that work?
buy orphans. I provided coin that they could then have a better life.
On the Pearl.
No.
Did you say this to the orphans?
Here. No,
Have you met the orphans yet?
no, I've not.
Why not?
When are they
Are,
arriving?
wait,
Yeah.
are any new orphans? Because
Do
then
you
I've met
get to
an
pick 'em
orphan.
out?
Met an orphan. No, no, no.
Are they healthy
Like,
and strong?
you pick ones that you want and then leave the rest you don't?
I don't pick anything.
That's
Is
what
it
cats
all the
do.
orphans in the city, or is it like just some of the orphans in the city?
You know. And as he says that, he's not going to say it. He's just going to go, and he's just going to walk off.
What do I know?
Just no context, no continuation. It's just, yeah, bye. He's just going to walk away. He's just going to be like, I'm not continuing this.
To find out what's going on with those orphans.
I don't know. Mariana, how was your morning?
What's going on is they've been bought by someone that has no idea what to do with them. Yes, I found out some information and stuff. There seems to be like a maintenance / staffing room sort of deal underneath the main floor of the museum. There could be a way for us to infiltrate through there initially and get into what essentially would be the lower floors anyway. Couldn't find out where the vault was yet. Now, typically you wouldn't put a vault higher, so I can't imagine it'd be on the higher rooms. However, that doesn't mean it's impossible. I still want to try and keep my inquiry to below ground, I think. Don't suppose you got anything to, like, a burrow or get underground?
No, but I've been considering a way out. And Eos kind of huddles up with Mariana, Hatsu, and Wes. I have this really powerful spell that if I think of a place within 500 feet of where I am, I can go with one person.
Okay.
So if you or I are holding the egg, and I put your hand on your shoulder, your wrist, or whatever, we can back somewhere within 500 feet.
Okay, that might be handy.
Never done it before.
Surefire way to find yourself on a boat.
If it's within 500 feet.
Yeah.
More like a witch boat.
If it's within 500 feet, absolutely, Wes.
Like, not in a good way.
Oh.
Technically, Weslyn, you were the witch on the boat on the way here, so...
Oh, the irony of that is not lost on me. But I'm not a witch.
What is irony?
What is irony?
Yes.
It's when you're ironing a shirt.
Oh, I usually do that with this.
I thought it was that metallic taste you get from wine.
Yeah. Or liver. Like, liver is kind of irony.
My dad used to say that's a sign of a heart attack.
Anyway, I don't know if you should be mixing, like, witchery with your thievery. It seems like a really bad combination in this town.
Oh, we're not thieves. We're just moving the location of this egg.
Reappropriating.
Like a person who buys orphans.
Yeah. He's relocating them from one orphanage to probably their death.
Oh, oh.
I mean, he's not
That's,
able to look after himself. How's he going to look
that's his
after
responsibility.
orphans?
Yeah.
Well, Captain, Mr. reports what came onto the ship. And basically Hatsu did frenetically the whole morning write the books of what the Thieves Guild actually did bring into the boat so far.
Oh, so you're doing an inventory list. Nice.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, I also realized that our healing supplies are kinda down. So with your allowance, I would like to replenish some of them.
Absolutely. I think we are that is some of what's being loaded onto the boat. At least that was what was agreed. But if you can grab more, that would be good too.
Above the table, he's referring to his healer's kit. He used all charges of the ever so dying party.
Yeah. Do you need funds for it, Hatsu? Are you I don't know how
Captain.
Okay. Dash did give me some funds that I assume is what he stole from Weslyn, but I do have the funds here ready for us if we need it anyway, that he gave me.
Between us, I took Weslyn's money just in case he needs some. He gives it too freely away, and Dash really took advantage of it.
I appreciate that, Hatsu. Thank you for looking out for him. Right. Tomorrow's going to be about getting some more information for me. Eos, we've got about 9 days, I think, now, until we do this.
Mhm.
See if you can find somewhere to have a little bit of a play with that. Even if you only do, like, from here to the other side of the room or something. You know, just practice. Because the last thing I want is for you to do this and end up in the middle of a wall.
Oh.
Maybe
Ooh, ew.
I can assist you. I mean, mine works a little different, but I think the gut feeling is kind of the same.
Yes.
Weslyn, do you have better wear to go to this thing this evening, or are you planning on going just as you are, little sailor boy?
Do I need better wear?
I mean, personally, I think you look pretty good, but these kind of functions, is it a function, or are you just going to say hello to someone?
He's just going to be there. The guard said that the person who I need to talk to will be there tonight, and that I could talk to him then. But they're very busy because there's some guy coming, or, well, they didn't say it was a guy, like a person's coming, who's very important in the coming days, and so they're getting ready. There's like a gajillion guards everywhere. Kind of clever how they like hide themselves behind plants. You know, they're like this behind the bush in the museum. You can barely see them, but then you like look, and then they're like, it's not actually a bush; it's a person.
So they've got secret guards. Interesting. Good to know. See what else you can find out. But word of caution: don't mention the egg at all. And
I wasn't going to talk
especially
about the egg.
No, because if the egg then suddenly disappears, you're the person that looks like the one that stole it.
Well, I'm not going there for the egg. You're safe on that front.
I don't mind so much for me. I'm thinking more for you.
I think I'll be okay. I have survived far worse than a meeting with some stuffy guy who thinks he's in charge of old things.
I hope you don't live to regret that. But okay.
I've lived and died to regret many things. But I get back up again. Ain't nothing gonna keep me down.
Madriana.
I think there's a nickname for people like you. Chumbawamba?
A lager drink. We should have a beer. Speaking of.
Yes.
How far away is the museum from here?
Oh,
I just remember.
DM, am I able to calculate it? Give or take?
where you are in this area.
I've moved across the rooftops a few times by now, so I have a kind of rough idea of distance, but...
Just pulling up my notes here, sorry, I'm just gonna see. I don't have like a direct map, so bear with me. You guys carry on for a sec. I'm gonna check.
And if we can try and figure out then maybe a distance to the boat. Maybe the boat would be a favorable place to potentially...
Honestly, I think you're not even going to get close to this place, let alone the boat.
Yeah.
I assume it's as the raven flies, right?
Yeah.
It's any direction.
Winged person
As Raven
flies.
flies. Yeah. Through buildings and stuff.
Nice.
Just don't stop in the middle of the building.
Just don't stop.
Anbudon
Yeah.
itself isn't like massive, but it's big. Just trying to see if I can find a layout thing for you. So just carry on for a moment. I'll interrupt in a sec.
Because depending on how this goes and what way you want to do this, and if I'm there with you, then get to the boat and head away, maybe? Or back here?
Well, I mean,
Keep quiet.
if it comes to the fact that you need to jump out, I guess.
Yeah.
What might be closer, might be better is if you jump into underneath the tavern.
Oh, yes. Yes. To where...
You should be safe there. You should be... At least you can do the handoff.
And I remember where that is. That's part of the thing, yeah.
Yeah. You've been there a few times now.
Yeah.
Roughly a kilometer, 1.2 kilometers.
Son of a bitch.
You get half the way there.
Yeah, we'll get
Well,
halfway.
you're not. Don't forget, you guys aren't staying in the expensive district.
true,
like,
yeah.
you're down by
Yeah.
the docks, so like
Yeah.
it's fairly in.
That's actually not bad, though. That's pretty... 500 feet still decent for that, though. That's,
500 feet head start you've got.
Yeah.
You know.
that's decent. Okay.
Aldrin,
Yeah.
what's your plans for tomorrow?
Feeding his
Comes
orphans,
walking
probably.
back in. Well, I haven't thought it fully through, but I did have a good look around, and there's no straightforward path from A to B. A being here, B being the museum. A lot of side streets. For you, I don't think that's going to be an issue because, let's be real, you never really take side streets. You're usually, airborne. Honestly, I don't know. I was kind of looking around, just scoping out the guards. Yeah, it's just difficult for me to kind of blend in with them, considering I look like I'm the one that should be ushering them around. I kind of feeling some of the areas I visited today, I was wearing the wrong clothes for this, so I'm not sure if I should change out or just try and assume taking Hatsu's role of course, not giving my real name. I'm not sure if I should maybe just say I'm someone else and assume I'm a guard from a different city, or I'm something else altogether. I'm passing through. I'm on a mission. Man on a mission. I don't know.
Why don't you go less as a guard and more as a, cleric?
Can be done. Why would I be
Also-
here? If I was to be asked questions, because this will happen, and usually if a guard, and based on what I would ask people when they were going through the city, what's your business here? What would you say if you were me? What's your business?
Don't at least from the very, very few that ever were stupid enough to go to Verdois, don't like holy people, don't they have like a special recompense to go and like bless buildings and bless sites and all that kind of stuff? Could you not say you're there on a pilgrimage or something?
It's very true. It's very possible, and it is a thing. There is that situation of maybe things are happening that a holy entity is required to bless a building to remove untowards energies, etc. To eradicate.
Are you saying we should set up a fake exorcism?
I take out my holy symbol and say, I hold it out in front of me and say, I cast thee into the wilderness. And I kind of just go, maybe?
Interesting. Not a bad idea. One thing you are going to be very useful for, though, I believe. The guards that I was watching today, they had some tech things. Stuff that I've never seen. One of them had some form of device on his sleeve that he could speak to others.
Was it very subtle? Was it very clunky, so to say, or?
I was too far to really gather a proper view, but it was a case of them raising their hand to speak into, I'm assuming,
into the wrist.
Something mounted, or yes. Is that something you can disable? Is that something?
I have not seen anything that would give me the impression that this place is attuned to our kind of skills, meaning magic, of course. It is very possible that there's technology they're using, but a lot of this place does not give me that vibe of technology. But anything that is enabled can be disabled. Absolutely. It's just... when working with my dad and viewing things that he was doing in Bricks Under, something on the wrong frequency could knock something off. But it's just the issue of finding out what that frequency is, or maybe if it's been sourced from a power somewhere, if that source was, of course, not to work anymore. But the only issue is if it's sourced directly on each guard, and that's an issue.
Right. See, the other thing I'm thinking of is that maybe at some point we try to subdue one of these guards, take the item for ourselves, so therefore it might give us any information if, let's say, like someone says to them, oh, we've seen people on the north side of the building. Then that gives us a little bit of information that we might need.
When walking this morning, my initial thought was, if I did see a guard that was maybe after having a few too many and was not after making it home throughout the night, I could maybe strike a conversation about, of course, being a guard and just kind of see where do they all stay. Do they have a barracks? Of course, that's how we would have had it up in Bricks Under. Some preferred not to stay at said barracks. If there was a barracks, of course, they would have to keep their gear somewhere. It's very possible there may or may not be a location that they would have these little gadgets. But there is also the situation of, oh, a guard has had a long shift. He's going to wet the lips before he goes home. And what's to say that he's given a drink, and as he's being handed the drink and shook his hand, his device was unfortunately to be missing, I suppose, yeah. Mislaid, that's the word.
If you could find out that information, that would be rather interesting. I had another idea, actually, something that would work in our favor. However, it might work out better if they did have a barracks or something of the like. Yes, that could work. very, very well in our favor.
It's very possible that I could assume the job role of a holy entity of a guard, a holy guard, someone that maybe would be able to go in and bless all the guards. Maybe there's a guard that had a really weird dream recently, and he foreseen something. I don't know. Weslyn made me realize things in my dreams. I'm not sure how that works, but what if a guard was to, I don't know, see something and he needs to be blessed?
Yeah, we had this conversation, didn't we, Weslyn? About an inception of an idea in their dreams, given them
I don't think it really works that way. As far as I know, I haven't tried it. But that seems rather risky, don't you think?
There could be easier ways to do this.
I mean, if you're worried about like me being recognized by the people in the museum, like you don't think that I would draw attention to myself appearing in people's dreams?
Some people might just pass it off as someone they've met and someone that was distinguishable enough that they saw in their dream. I mean, let's face it, you do kind of stand out in the best possible way, but you're not like anyone else I've ever met.
Can't quite help it.
I know, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
But
Weslyn,
what?
when you are in a dream with somebody, can't assume any other form of identity, or you cannot change anything about your appearance in the dream. It's how you go into the dream, is it? Or just the idea I have is, if you were to dress differently, would you then, of course, appear in the dream how you are dressed in that moment? If you were to perhaps have some form of mask or some form of change of identity, and then enter a dream.
I don't know. I mean, I can tell you that it is all fluid, right? It is a contesting force of waters that move. You float upon or float within or below. Everything is as they truly are in a lot of ways. I'm not sure how much can be disguised in that space. The environment can change, but there are static things that are anchored somewhere that are not, in my experience, inconspicuous.
I tell you what, Eldrin grabs his goggles, he takes them off.
No Cyclops.
He hands them to Weslyn. Please try them on.
They're a bit big.
You'll grow into them. Please. I insist.
Well, what are you going to do about your face?
I'm going to have a nap now. Would you care to join me? For a dream or two.
Oh. Now? Okay. All right.
You got time before your meeting this evening?
I'm going to basically just sit down on maybe a chair or sit up kind of like against the wall and kind of just cross my legs and hands on my lap and just like rest my head back against the wall and just close my eyes. and just kind of do my best to just concentrate on my breathing and try and, pretty much get ready to try and sleep.
Would you like some help, Weslyn? Aldrin?
I don't know. Weslyn's trying to put on the goggles. It's rather novel. Trying to figure out how to get them tight. They're clearly sized for someone else.
With his eyes
they're also
they're Velcro.
What's Velcro?
What's Velcro?
You invented it.
You just
Clearly.
It's just a strap. Just it tightens to the size of your head. Don't worry about it.
He'll cover his eyes with the goggles and realize that he can't see shit through them. Welding goggles, not even cool sunglasses, and we'll try and settle into a trance. And use that trance to fall into the currents that are around us and to navigate, in theory, into Eldrin's dreamscape.
I don't know how easy it is for Eldrin to fall asleep after he's just kind of woken up, take a walk, and come back. I'd say
Hit him in the head.
I mean,
I'll knock him unconscious. It's fine.
just make a straight Constitution check for me, and let's see if you can kind of overpower your constitutional state.
Yes, sir.
That or yes, can cast Fireball. One or the other.
Or just have a bunch
I
of
have
beer.
a lot of spell slots available.
12? Having a hard time falling asleep for sure.
Yeah. The one thing that I'm great at doing, I didn't do before my role, but yes, I find it hard to sleep.
All this talk of blessing and not one inside. You can make a second attempt if you want to. I always allow 2 checks. So.
What I'll do is, because I'm not going to sit here and just go, can I roll again? I'm going to kind of like sit there and kind of just going to stretch my neck and kind of just going to blink a lot of times and kind of just make my eyes tired and just really quickly blink.
You guys watch as the general light ambiance of the room gets brighter and dimmer as he opens and closes his eyes, because his eyes are the brightest source of light in this room.
And you hear Bart in the background. Boom, boom, boom.
Hats is in the corner just like...
I'm sure this was the opening to Blade 2.
There's an episode of like Homestar Runner with that, with the flipping the lights on and off.
Eos will sit down next to Eldrin.
Sure.
Sit down. Legs crossed. Eldrin. Breathe. Close your eyes and just...
And
empty your mind.
I'm just listening.
And she uses thaumaturgy to make the sound of like rustling leaves and water flowing in a non-way to not make him want to wet himself.
No problem.
As he's there, real calm, real slow, he just says, no. No. Metal clanging.
Okay.
Like a forge.
You hear the sound of a forge. Steel hitting other steel. You hear the sound that soothes you of an anvil at work. I'll give you advantage on the roll, and you can have your guidance.
And he...
Cool, so
Not much
16.
better, but it's a 16.
He doze off. Weslyn, would you like to enter his dream?
Well, I mean, he asked, he invited, so I'll go. Not sure what he wants me to do in there, but I'll go.
Cool.
See if I can get the current to get in there, you know? Follow the currents. But before I go in there, while I'm in this space, just a quick awareness check on the general state of others, just to make sure.
Sure. Make an investigation.
I know what the audience is here. If there's an audience, there usually is. It's helpful to identify that. Man, I'm all for solid 10s today.
Yeah, it's hard to see. You have the same eerie feeling of being watched that you did in the museum. But yeah.
Normal, average, expected. And then I'll make my way into that back of the car on a boat destined for history.
Eldrin, you open your eyes and you're in a city forge. There's lava flowing gently, allowing for a high octane work. Let's put it that way. You hear the slight hammers as they hammer, doing what their namesake is. You hear people talking. You hear the hustle and bustle. There's a cute little dog there for some reason.
Can I press X to pet the dog?
Yeah. Weslyn, you're just sort of sitting beside him, and Eldrin, when you look around, it's like the Dwight Schrute reaction when he sees Angela, like the, ugh.
What are we in here for?
As a seaman, I'm like, oh shit. And he says, "What are we here for?" How does he look?
Depends on how he wants to look.
I think it's probably like standard edition Weslyn. So fur stole, pair of pants, pretty old costume.
Mm-hmm. It's like the default skin. You haven't bought any premium skins yet.
Yeah, default skin, just off the beach. You know.
Oh yeah, free to play player right here. Yeah, you have your default Weslyn skin. Yeah.
All right. Goggles? No goggles?
Nope. Just first all, some pants that look like they've been worn for a long time, probably passed down a few generations.
Nice. Hope
No. Watch. Well, I mean, we do get a bath at least once a month, usually. You know, it's a luxury baths.
Mm-hmm. Scent is pungent.
Yeah,
more like
the
fungent. Yeah. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Yeah. Do I have my goggles?
Do you want your goggles?
The aim for Eldred is to go into the dream to be in the dream the way he entered his sleep state.
That's how you are.
So So what he's trying to basically see is, can these things be changed? Can they assume appearances differently? As Weslyn's asking, what are we doing here? Eldrin's just kind of looking around, looking at him, looking at himself. And he just says, I'm just trying to see if we're in a dream. Is
You are.
we want to be, or is it the way we are? You don't have my goggles, but either do I. So,
Well, they're on me in the, outside of this place.
yeah. Tell me, Weslyn. I want you to just follow with me on this, okay? Right now, okay, we're asleep, but we're here.
Well, you're asleep and I'm kind of in an altered state. It's hard to explain.
Understood. I'm asleep. You're here.
Yeah.
Are you... Can you close your eyes for a moment and just listen and focus on what we're talking about?
Do you think that's safe?
To close your eyes? Sure.
I mean, as long as you've got eyes on, that. What, you
Eyes
think
on-
we're the only ones in here?
In my head? No. No. No.
So when you're swimming in the lake, you think that there's not fish around?
Okay. Tell you what, I'll close my eyes. You keep an eye on me. Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to imagine the feeling of my goggles being on my head. Feeling that I would be very, very, very familiar with. And as I open my eyes, I am, let's say, manifesting. I'm trying to manifest and feel and hope that they are on my head. And as I open my eyes,
Yeah, down your
am
head. Of course. Where else would they be?
I look at Weslyn and I say, and I pull them off. Well, they weren't there a few minutes ago.
Sure about that? Dreams are a bit crazy like that. Hard to tell.
I wasn't sure if this was the voice in the sky saying this or somebody, a fish, saying this to me. I was like,
You don't want those fish nearby.
Nope, just me assassin.
Well, I mean, if he can do it, I'll try and change my pants to be blue.
Very nice blue pants.
nice blue jeans. Fresh. I can still see the store fold crease. Nice.
I change myself into slate.
Okay.
Do I now appear as though I'm slate?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gonna change myself as if I was slate, turning myself into Dash.
Yeah. No problem.
Is there any sort of like sensation of change during this transition?
More
any
like a
outward
sensation
data?
that you just always were.
I always was slate. Well, that's weird.
It's like you don't remember how you got to this form. You just got there. You wanted to be in this form. You remember that. But you just always were. Dreams are strange.
I'll worry about that one later. I will become Eldrin.
With or without goggles?
This is important.
Precisely as Eldrin looks now.
Okay. In his dream or out of his dream?
Both.
Okay.
Can I do both?
Yeah, you break the system. It reboots. Blue screen of death.
Yes.
Weslyn
That
is
was the
dead.
point. Yes. Yes, it wins. It wins.
He's starting to believe.
You have the goggles. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a coin toss if you ask for both.
I'm going to attempt to
Seduce the dragon.
move us from the forge to the volcano.
To the one you've been to, or the one you're seeing the lava trail come from now?
The one we've been to.
Oh my.
Yeah. The sounds of the forge wane as the area changes, and suddenly you're standing on a platform above the lava, one you're familiar with. You were there several moons ago.
And one more test as I get a bit bolder. Try and move us to Remington.
404 user not found. You do go to something else though. You find yourself in Remington's office, surrounded by silence. The paper's illegible. The book's non-important. But it's his office last you saw it.
You know, he was here last time I came here. Does the number 404 mean anything to you?
Me? No.
I mean, numbers are used a lot in magic, so I don't know, maybe your god knows something about 404.
And accountancy. So.
Would an accountant know about it?
404?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, and one more test if you would.
It could be just. Yeah, I have a request after, but yeah.
Can you hold out your hand?
Does it matter which one?
No.
Hold out my right hand.
I'm gonna grab a fork, manifest a fork, and hand it to, or hold it at Eldrin's hand. I guess hover it, kind of moving it in a, a stabby sort of motion, but I don't stab him.
Does it look like it's about to stab me?
Well, he's just holding it in the gesture as if he would if he were to, lure it with force,
Yeah.
If we're going to be thorough about this, Eldrin, do you mind?
Depends on what the result of this would be, and if I
don't know. It'll probably hurt here, but it might not hurt here. I can tell you that death here isn't pleasant, but it wasn't ever permanent. But I can't say it'll be the same for you.
As he's talking, and he says death here isn't pleasant, Eldrin's looking at him going, it's a fork in my hand, it isn't gonna fucking kill me. And he just grabs his, slaps his hand down and just kind of He's not waiting for it. He's not waiting for it. Okay, let's go 1, 2, 3. He's like, just do it quick, and he just slaps his hand with the fork into his own hand.
Roll 2d6 from Eldrin.
That's 10.
Okay. You don't take 10 points of damage because this is a dream.
Does it hurt though?
A lot of damage.
It's up to Eldrin if it hurts or not. If he believes it would hurt, it would hurt.
Yeah. There would be a moment of like this is hurting. He's like, fuck, and the fork is like in and out of his hand. He's there and he's like, okay. Is there blood coming out?
If Eldrin believes there would be blood coming out, there's blood coming out.
There's blood coming out. And I'm just like, okay. Yes. What's happening now?
Well, now we see if it has any marks on you in the awake. And then we'll know whether or not it is an appropriate vehicle to do what needs to be done with these people you want me to visit.
Okay. Shit. Should have done this after I wanted to go where I wanted to go. Because if you can visit a volcano, then you can bring me to where I want to go.
Where do you want to go?
Give me a moment. He yanks the fork out of his hand. And as he yanks the fork out, in his mind, he's like, oh, this blood needs to stop. And that's when, of course, I don't want to speak for what may or may not happen, but I would assume that because I want the blood to stop, it would just randomly stop.
Absolutely.
Right? Because it randomly stops.
Well, do you believe the blood stops, or do you want the blood to stop? Those are two different sensations.
Yeah, want.
If Eldrin believes he would still be bleeding at this point, he is. It depends on your belief of what you're doing rather than your want for what could happen.
Yeah, it's... he would know that I should be still bleeding after yanking a fork out of his hand. Yeah.
Okay.
What he will do is he will just get a piece of cloth, bandage, and he would just wrap it around like a gauze just on his hand to stop the bleeding. And once that is done, he would just simply say to Weslyn, I would like you to bring me to Brixunder, please. Specifically, I would like to see my parents.
Okay, I will try. I've never been there.
You seen my house in our last stream?
I have been there, at least sort of here.
In here you have, but not out. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We'll reach up to the bookcase in Remington's office and peel it away like a piece of wallpaper to bring us into Eldrin's house.
Eldrin, you're home. It smells like home. The ambient temperature feels like home. The air is heavier here. Another city built on advancement, but a different type. This is a familiar place to you. At the very least, it feels like home and how you last saw it.
Yeah. If we're in the house specifically, I would just mainly be looking around the main living room, sitting room area, just to see is anyone about.
There are silhouettes of people here, but it's not your area that's focused. It's Weslyn's. So you can make out what you believe to be people that you care about or that you are loyal to and that you love, but realistically it's Weslyn's power that's bringing you here, and he doesn't know these people, so he has nothing to draw that information on other than potential pictures or images that he may have seen when you guys were in the book, for example. But that would be it. It's very loose on what it is. The area is pretty accurate because it's pulled from your mind, but there's only so far he can dig and so much he can take. This is Bricksunder. This is home. But at most, it's a reflection in the pool of memory that is your mind. It's not the same.
Yeah. So, what he will do is... Wait, are the silhouettes moving, or are they stationary?
The silhouettes are moving around. It's like just general. It's more things that are designed to trick your mind into thinking something's happening rather than actually something happening. It's the kind of thing you're just supposed to pick up on the corner of your eye, but since you're looking around, it's what you see.
Yeah. He mainly wanted to go just to feel, just to see his parents. He never told them where he was. They don't know where he is. It's been God only knows how long since they last seen him go to work that day, and then disappeared. So when he sees one of the silhouettes, all he does is he kind of approaches where it was, even if it has moved on. He just goes to where the silhouette was on the wall, and he kind of just puts his hand on the wall, and then just looks back at Weslyn and just said, "They're not here, but they are here." And he kind of just taps his hand on his chest and says, "I'm good to go when you are. I don't know if we can just leave like this, but I'm good to go."
You're on mute.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Oh, the boy was so shook he could not speak.
Yeah. I had profound things to say. Unfortunately, you didn't hear them in the dream.
You look around and Weslyn's just talking to himself in the corner, but because you weren't focusing, you just couldn't register the voice.
Yep. Weslyn will, as gently as possible, eject Eldrin from the current as best as he can. Waiting until he feels that he is, relatively alone before he himself pulls at the anchors that keep him in the wake.
It's like darkness and water. It's the closest thing your mind can pull to describe the sensation of how this feels. Like you're sitting in a tranquility tank. Something to calm your mind. You feel like it's all around you, yet somehow you feel like you're not captured by anything. You see nothing. You're alone. It's a reminder that even though you can see a great many things in your sleep, they're nothing but fragments. of imagination, of dreams, of wants, desires, fears, anxieties. But ultimately, it can't hurt you. You look at your hand, it's no longer scarred, no longer bleeding. Weslyn, you wake up first, but you can't see anything. There's a momentary panic, and then you remember you're wearing these, tremendous goggles. And Eldrin, you return next.
And breathe.
I am.
As he hears Weslyn saying, or Eo saying, breathe, and Weslyn saying, I am, he's just there and just smirks and just opens his eyes and just looks at Adriana and just said, oh yeah. And just kind of like nods as in like, oh yeah, this is what I wanted. And it happened. And I will grab my goggles back from Weslyn.
Well, hey, those are mine.
You can have chicken, I can have my goggles.
You gave them to me.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. You cannot see with
Well,
these.
yeah, but they're kind of fashionable. I mean, everybody else covers their face. Maybe I should get something to cover my face.
You will, but only in here when we need you. But we can find you many a mask if you'd like to masquerade yourself when we go to the museum next. There's many a mask and many an outfit that we have here. Isn't that right, Hatsu and Amedrana?
Yes.
Well, I guess we shouldn't walk into a museum, a financial institute, or some sort of this fully masked with weapons. Doesn't fit.
There's a terrible, terrible rumor, Hatsu, about a theme in the museum this week that it's free. And that
It is.
What if there was also a rumor that costumes for this lovely event that's happening, and everyone was to dress up in their finest? Masks are used to dress up.
Are you talking about a masquerade ball?
Is that true?
Masquerading at the ball. Absolutely. We have so many options. The creative juices are flowing. And Weslyn, in here, he's whatever he wants to be.
Have you been able to re-establish some of his brain functions, Weslyn?
Well, no, I mean, was that what we were going to do?
I think so, and I think it worked a little bit at least. But he's not quite there, I guess.
I did learn something. The number 404. Do you know anything about the number 404?
We don't talk about 404s.
Yeah.
They are gone. Forget about them.
For some reason, nobody can find anything about 404.
Strange.
I mean, I read this book about the Wizard of Time. Maybe he knows, but nobody knows if that's true.
Some truth in every book.
Bet you I could find that guy if I looked hard enough. That would take some time.
He's got a lot of that, apparently.
Well, I don't. So we have to pick and choose, don't we? So what's the plan? What are we doing? Attacking guards in their sleep?
No, I'm hoping I can engineer a way to pretty much remove most of the guards.
Oh.
Let me work out the details first, and then I'll tell you. You have your meeting this evening.
Hmm.
Aldrin, you said you want to see if you can find one of the guards, see if you can find out some information when they go to the tavern or whatever. That'd be good.
Even the priest needs a drink.
Indeed.
Maybe the priest is in the etablissement to collect more donations for the orphans.
Deep pockets have big offerings. I'm here to collect.
Listening to the rest of the team, Amagiana sits down and she opens up her book that she was given by Remington that's still got like his handwriting in and stuff. And he gets Albie to sit in front of her and she starts incanting. That's what I'm going to be doing for the next 10 minutes.
The rest of you?
Hatsu would probably send out Ayame to replenish the healer's kit.
Mm-hmm.
And he would give her a gold piece, and then he would also talk to her and that she should have an eye out for suspicious activities, people other than the Thieves Guild, maybe.
No problem.
Eos will just wash herself up from the bathroom. Keep it simple.
Nice and easy. Hatsu, you can fill your healer's kit.
Thank you.
There's a weight tied to you, Eldrin, as you kind of do consider the fact that your family has no idea what happened to you, where you've been, and it's months and months and months since then. You're not sure, like your friends, your people at work, colleagues, nobody knows. And being faced with your home like that definitely would drudge some stuff up for you.
Yeah.
And I think maybe someone like Eos, who's a little bit closer to you, might pick up on that. Feel that there's more of a weight on you since you came back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Eldrin. Do you have a moment?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Eos will take Eldrin to the mirror in her room, because most bedrooms have some kind of a mirror. She stands behind him over his left shoulder and kind of positions him directly in the mirror. What do you see?
Me? This, yeah, me. This.
No. What do you see?
Is this a take these off situation or?
Up to you.
Yeah.
Eos is like,
Take them off again, and he's standing there just looking at himself in the mirror. He's just kind of blankly staring, kind of like at his own eyes, at his own face. I see light, I see brightness.
what do you feel?
He turns and looks. He says, "Do you want to do this? Do you want me to speak freely?"
Absolutely. You are my friend.
He stares back into the mirror and he's looking at himself eye to eye. I feel sad, but I'm masking it.
Why do you feel
I'm
sad?
tired.
Why are you tired?
I'm many things.
Why?
Because months ago I was living a completely different life, and now I'm living a life that every day is something different, and it's things that I don't fully understand, and my life was left behind, and my family that protected me all their lives, I have no idea where I am. And do you know what the saddest thing about it is?
Mm-hmm.
I've not sent a single letter to tell them where I am, because I am petrified that something will happen to them. Yeah.
Put back on your goggles.
Puts them back on and closes the
Eldrin
bed.
would see Eos in the mirror with red eyes and grayish skin. You spoke the truth.
I asked you if you wanted me to speak freely, so yeah.
Good. I see pride, I see power, I see
Don't do it.
fearlessness, adventure, depths beyond oceans. You are destined for greatness. You might be the chosen one. That's what it's called you.
Above the table, I thought you were going to quote a movie quote, and I was about to lose my life and fall off the chair. Anyways, as she's saying all this to him, he doesn't really know how to respond, because he's still so kind of emotionally bunged up over what he was saying. And he then goes to explain that there's times where he can't think straight, or I can't think straight, sometimes, simply because my mind is too occupied with the things I've buried down deep.
Let them loose.
And
Bring them to surface.
journaling really has helped me get through these weird situations. And honestly, the more I'm doing it, the better I feel I can be for all of you. And I quite like that. I quite like that I had the responsibility to help and save people. I hated that Dash needed to be saved, but I am so happy and proud of myself, which there's very little times in my life I've been proud of myself. But I am damn proud of myself that he is able to be there for his kids, because I saved them.
You did save his children. But he could not. Pride is powerful. You are powerful. You
I don't know
saved
exactly.
a child. You saved a man from dying. You brought him back from the beyond.
I'm afraid that I won't always be able to do that, though.
You don't have to. You should be doing good things also for yourself. You should write that letter. You should maybe not disclose exactly where you are, but at least say hi. I, Eos, had to do such a thing for my mom too, knowing that she may not be alive, but there she was. And also was Ash, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
Remember, we care about you.
I know. I know.
If you were scared, you say it. If you want to talk, you do it. You want to walk away? Absolutely. But when you come back, you'll have nothing but love and affection from all of us.
You say walk away, but how could I walk away now? How could I walk away now and say, oh, I visited my home and now I'm feeling sad and I want to see people? How can I say that?
Like that.
And
You just did it.
I let you all down. Oh, I do something useful for 5 minutes with Weslyn and then I guess I'm going on a hiatus. Bye. You're not going to do that. And Majoriana's not going to do that. Weslyn, Hatsu, Dash, none of yous are doing that.
Eldrin, you did what is seemingly the impossible right now. You managed to do something which only I believed my kind could do as well as Weslyn, which is what was known as trancing. You somehow traversed through dreams. You were far more capable. The first time we saw you sparring with Imadriana, you sprouted wings and you flew. Your eyes illuminate the dark. Your scythe burns my eyes. I have to look away. You're far more than what you believe you are. I'm scared of who I see in the mirror. You are not. Not because she puts fear into me, but because that might be my destiny.
I don't think you need to be scared. I think you can have more control than you believe in yourself to have.
And now who's been the friend? Thank you, Aldrin. And she squeezes him tight. Good tea.
Yeah. Sure.
Come on.
Yeah.
We have an egg to get. You know what the egg does, actually? You're talking about like masquerade balls and things.
I'm honestly one or two ideas, and I'm just a creative thinker of things. I guess I picked it up from my dad, who just builds shit every day. But yeah, I just
What does he build actually?
well, he made these first of all, but
Can you make a jacket?
yeah, why not? He's
what's his name?
My dad's name?
Yeah.
Wilhelm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Will.
That's that's weird. I've never actually called him just Will. That's yeah.
Nice name.
Will.
Wilhelm Drosk.
Hmm.
Do you do the thing where his name is your middle name, or is that not the thing that you do?
You know, I
Somebody
don't
else did that.
even. Yeah, I don't even know anyone with a middle name. I don't think it's a. Do you have a middle name?
I'm not saying.
Oh. Hatsu's gotten you. Don't give your real name.
We're
You're
learning.
You're learning. We're learning. We're learning. And I've got caught again. I gave you my dad's name. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No more names. But you got me good. You got me good. Okay. No middle names. No names. Okay.
No air codes either, apparently.
No. Dash gave me his PPS number one time. I don't know why, but
write it down. Give it to me.
yeah, I claim parents leave for the kids. He doesn't know though. But anyways, yeah, it's okay.
Tax evasion aside. Hatsu. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing today. I haven't heard a lot from Hatsu today.
First of all, since the quartermaster that he is, he's super pissed about that Weslyn did cap the borrowed jacket. So he's looking around without trying to upset Weslyn, because he knows he's obsessed with stuff that somebody gave him, and he thinks everything is a present, the same way he gives away all his money and shit. So he tries to figure out where the jacket is, if it's still on him, and if so, he tries to snatch it away to put it back where it belongs.
Weslyn, where is it?
I do not recall where the jacket is.
As far as I know Weslyn, I would say he just put the other clothes above it.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably like if we're in the tavern where we're staying, and he has changed into his new clothing, the jacket.
Did he
probably
leave all his
is
old clothing in the store, or did he bring it back with him?
Oh, he brought it back with him. That first stole his history.
And it's probably in his quarters, his space.
I was just like, it's probably just draped somewhere.
So Hall of the Mountain King vibes. Dun, 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 dun. He like wanders around the facility to have a look and get the jacket back where it belongs to the other ones.
No problem. You sneak in. I don't think I need to make you roll for stealth unless anyone's trying to contest it. You sneak in, you take the jacket, and you bring it back.
That bothers me the whole day. Now it's back in place. And he would kind of sort out the facility a little bit. He would check weapons. He would take care of his weapons. He would check the equipment and the magical Remington satchel. He would make sure, because he knows there's gonna be some stuff going on. He would check his smoke bombs and all sorts of that stuff. And after that, he would go back to the ship to check in on Boreal, Ayame, and Asuka. And he would prepare to stay a few days off the boat, so he would basically tell them what to do to take over his duties, and he would stay on standby in the facility to assist Amadriana with any possible tasks that she might have for him.
Yeah. Everybody's happy to carry the workload on the ship. There are still several people on the ship who also belong to Verdwar. They are also taking care of the ship, so there's quite a few people here. They've been accepting things and carrying things and trying to put them in storage and batten them down and make sure they're not loose. And the ship is underway and in progress. Loading resources, 17% complete. Error 404. But you make sure that everything is in capable hands before heading back, and obviously making sure that everything is ready to go. Taking your time to respect your equipment. Yeah. Is there anything else that Hatsu would like to do with his time?
He would go into a deep state of meditation. And what he's trying to do is, the last time he had some sort of awakening when he was on the Pearl. And he's trying to grasp that feeling again that kind of engulfed him in a way that he's not used to. Usually, when he was able to manipulate the shadows, it is something that came from the inside and kind of moved around him and altered stuff around him. But that time it was a little different. It kind of came from the outside through him and kind of put an aura around him instead of it comes from it wasn't created by himself. That's what he felt. So he trying to go back into the state of deep meditation. He's back in the cave, back where he saw the bee the first time. Mother of light, protector, creator of shadows, send us a bee for those who are in need. I know you see some things in my past that I might not see. You might see destiny in places where my heart cries for revenge, for justice. But sometimes I don't know anymore what that concept means. Thank you for guiding my heart. Thank you for letting me drift away to get a bigger picture. And he envisions not only the bee, he envisions sakura leaves that all of a sudden stop floating in the wind, but instead pushing the wind into a different direction, manifesting their own destiny, and it goes back and forth. And he feels that warmth, that high summer kind of warmth when he was laying down in the grass next to Ayame and they were laughing about the sessions that they had and how much their hands would hurt from the bow trainings. And with that, he would see a gold pulsing, glowing aura around him, almost as if somebody has claimed him to his tribe. And whoever comes into the facility will see him sitting there, almost floating in a golden bubble.
As you float in this space, your mind is taken to many places. Your childhood was spent in discipline, different to most children, but not different to the children in your group. All of you, in different ways, had to experience discipline for different reasons. The bubble shimmers, and images flash across it. As your eyes are open, and they don't glow red, they glow gold. You watch each image pass. Moments of your childhood, Asuka's childhood, the moment you met Ayami, the moment you met Boreal, the moment you and Boreal fought an unknown force deep in the forest. The moments that mattered to you. The smell of your mom's bread fills the bubble for you. Things that really matter to you. It gets a little shaky as you start to move into more modern times, seeing Saganatoshi overrun, seeing what happened with your father. As you gain emotional control over it, the bubble begins to stabilize once again. Floating in front of it is a sword. Your sword. But it looks different. The hilt looks similar, but almost like the maw of a dragon surrounding the base of the actual blade itself. The sword looks changed. The shimmer fades. The bubble vanishes. And you sit cross-legged in your room, your eyes returning to normal. The last faint sensation of this is the smell of bread as it fades away. Those of you close to Hatsu's room would have smelt the bread. Strange thing, but you know, there's lots of smells of food, so it's not unusual. Hatsu, you look at your sword, Kazujoba. It's as it always was. No draconic maw on the hilt, no burning sensation coming from it. What you saw wasn't necessarily your sword now, but it may have been it before, or it may be an idea of what's to come. At this point, Dash would return. He's been busy gathering information and laying out some ideas that he has had. But that, assuming Keen is here next week, is where we'll pick up next week.
Before we finish up, can I finish my spell?
Yes, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. So, as she's sitting there, like I said, using the book and stuff, and she's got a few, leaves and stuff that she's got in her hand. And as she does her enchantments and stuff, you can see that Albie starts to glitch out as if he fades in and out and goes a bit weird and a bit wonky and a bit shaped. And then as the flames on, as the leaves and stuff on Magiana's hands ignite, engulf, turn into ash and just disappear into the ether, Albie's no longer there. Well, he is. It's just now he's a little bit smaller. As she puts her hand down onto the floor, and this tiny black but thick spider crawls up her glove with this little white feather mark on its back as she places him on her shoulder. Time to go to work, little friend.
Apologies to the arachnophobia inclined here, but do you know what species of spider it is?
This would be, it's essentially a shrunken down wolf spider. So it's long-legged. It can get real flat, real like, yeah, almost non-existent as such.
No problem. We lost all our viewers. It seems a lot of
Some
preparation.
places birds can't go, but spiders can.
Yeah. Doesn't hurt to have a spider. Or at least something that does whatever a spider can.
Like a man?
Possibly. Or a woman.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, we'll pick up from there next week. We'll start with Master Keen. I believe he's been hard at work at what he wants to do for that sort of thing. And we still have bandwidth for downtime and investigation and all of that as well. We've done the very basics of it. I believe you have, I want to say 8 days left. 7 days? 8 days? 7 days, because you had 8 days and now it's 7. So you have 7 days left until the meeting with Delphini, which I believe comes before the heist because you wanted to do that before you have to evacuate the city. So that would put it at 7 to 8 days until your heist deadline.
Yeah, it's Weslyn's meeting. Grab Delphini, do the heist, get the fuck out of Dodge.
Well, you guys can get back out of Dodge, but Weslyn has something to do post heist, and this time he's not leaving.
Well, Weslyn's staying here then.
Yep. Too close to abandon why he's here.
Sure. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you again on your end for starting the craziest hype train and dropping a crazy amount of subs. We super appreciate you. That is phenomenal. We work hard to try and keep the website alive and to edit videos and to push out the content as much as we can. And that goes a long way to helping us. So we really, really appreciate it. And thank you so much. And thank you to anyone else who gifted and subbed and stuff. It actually isn't giving me a list here. On your end he broke the hype train thing because when he actually did it, the hype train just switched off by itself. And then I think 20 minutes later randomly appeared. And he's also broken my list that usually populates here to tell me what people did. It just is his name in blocks. So thank you so much.
85 from on your end, 5 from Busy, and 1 from Rory, if I recall correctly.
Amazing. Thank you so much to Mr. Busy and Mr. Rory as well. I super appreciate it. I knew other people did. I just couldn't for the life of me see who it was.
And 10 bits from Mando Jane.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much for the biddies. Appreciate it.
Biddy,
will give
Mandalora Jane.
Yes.
I don't know if that's what it's meant as, but like that's what I took it as.
We will give our rate to Heavy RPG. So send them some love. They're on episode 9 of what says Take 2 on the Chronicles of Nidum. I don't know if that means that they didn't succeed at first and then continue to succeed after. I'm not sure what this is, but we'll find out. We'll all hang out and chat and have a say hello to them. So send them some love and tell them we sent you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. We're looking forward to seeing you all next week, where we find out what it is that Dash has been suspiciously absent for this week. He sent me his ideas, so I'm interested to see how that plays out.
I can't wait to see his terrible rolls.
Yeah, I know, because that's always how it goes. We also have this like thing of, we've talked about it before, of like people missing the session that they're like most meant to be at, and he's been really hyped to do like a heist thing or like just show off his like rogue prowess, and then immediately missed the episode where we established that there would be rogue prowess. So
he messaged me before we even got here and was like, "So what we heist in?" Like literally.
Hell yeah. Well, much appreciated. This was a good session. It was fun. And we will pick it up next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Chicka chicka ciao.
Boom, boom.